It is also important to note, I probably should have said this at the start, the whole purpose of having a local testing environment for Joomla is so that you can truly test and also develop your websites in a environment that's not live. I do see sometimes in the forums people get confused thinking that this is how they make a website. I'm here to tell you that if you're going to host a website on your local computer using Wamp, I'd like to suggest that you're going about it entirely the wrong way. So what we're doing here is purely for testing and development purposes only. Don't think that this is going to become your real environment. Hosting is too cheap nowadays for you to ever want to do this by yourself. I've seen hosting for as little as $4 a month. Probably not the greatest hosting, but hosting nonetheless. So now that I've got that out of the way. Okay, so we also want to make sure that phpmyadmin, so that's localhost / phpmyadmin, is also working. If you get this type of screen, you know it's working right. Well done, congratulations. Okay, now that we're at phpmyadmin, we also want to control how we access the phpmyadmin, and in other words, we want to have a password. So go into privileges and go into this one here, localhost. Currently says password no. Click on the edit permissions, click password, and I'm just going to type pass and click go. And really all we're doing here is giving you the opportunity to simulate this type of like a true environment before we go any further. So then you also want to go to Wamp, apps, phpmyadmin, edit this one, config inc.php. Scroll down a little ways to find here, auth type, change that to HTTP and leave that the same way it is. Close and save that file. And just for fun, just restart all your services until we get a white icon again. And if we try and access phpmyadmin again, we'll get this type of response. So then we type in root and our new password, and we should be able to access it again. So this is again just best practices. That's all. It's really, if you're purely using it for a testing environment, really not that important, but not such a bad idea. Okay, so now some fun stuff in Apache and in your LAMP server. You need to go ahead and open c:\wamp into there. There's a couple of different areas we need to edit. It is important to note all these files I'm about to show you can access straight from the Wamp server, but I prefer to show you exactly where they are. So just going to bin, Apache 2, and conf, and this one here. There's a couple of things we need to edit in here. Again, open with Notepad 2, and you can see what I was talking about before about the syntax highlighting and stuff. Just makes it nice. It's good to look through this file. You will learn a lot. It tells you where the server is going to serve out from, what its root directory is, a whole heap of other stuff. It also loads a whole bunch of modules, and there's a couple here you actually have to enable. Now, in a typical Linux environment, when you see a little hash mark before a line, that means that line has been commented out. So in other words, a line that doesn't have the hash mark, that line is active. One that has the hash mark is not active, as can be seen when you go up and you see how all this text here is just simply comments. So when we go down here to these load modules, there's one in particular you do want to enable right off the bat, because it's how, generally speaking, your search engine friendly URLs will work. And the one is a mod rewrite. I just can't, there it is there. You'll see that it is commented out, so we want to just remove that comment. That's all you have to do. And before you go any further, you can scroll down a bit more, and you can set this stuff if you like. You could, this is a typical thing that some people do. In fact, I do it as well. I change this to be a different directory because I install Wamp on a different directory as opposed to just my straight C drive, but just for these purposes we won't. So then one thing we want to make sure is scroll all the way down the bottom generally, and what we're looking for, we need to where are we? Here it is, virtual host, because we're going to use virtual host. So again, you want to uncomment that one there, and I'll explain virtual hosts in a bit more. And it's just important to note that it's the location of that is in conf extra httpd vhosts. Okay, because this is vhosts is how real web servers work, and it's important to use, I think. So we'll close and save that file, and this is where this other file was, the vhosts. We can open up that for a moment. We can have a look at that in just a minute. So we'll just make sure it's actually switched on, and it is. And we're going to need some of this stuff here. So we'll just close that just for a moment, and we'll come back to that. Okay, so we've already shown how if we were to put a folder within our root, what we now know to be our root server, and our root document folder or location is www. So anything under here will be served out from our local host, correct? So we put a test one there, and we put an index.html because, as we may not know, index.html is the first one to be served. In fact, I'll show you later on where that gets changed. So if we go here, instead of phpmyadmin, we go test. We showed before how that gets served out. All well and good if you just want to use localhost. You may have noticed in the world before that we normally use things like www.mywebsite.com, blah blah blah, stuff like that, or even Joomla.org. That's how the world works, not localhost. So there's a few files that we're going to change that that allow you to do that.